Hi guys! So today I wanted to talk about my skin secrets and just like my skincare routine. I just turned 25 and I feel like I've just been through a lot in terms of like acne and scarring and hormone changes. And I really feel like I have a really good routine now that works for my skin, and I definitely have some tips and tricks that I learned along the way. So I hope this helps you guys out there. I feel like people did tell me this stuff, but I wish I listened. So I listened to these tips because I wish I did when I was 19 and 20. I'm gonna move this bone out of the way. Parker's bone, ew. I just want to talk about my acne story really quick. So in high school, my skin wasn't bad at all. A couple pimples here and there right around my period, which is totally normal. But yeah, no like huge breakouts. Like I'd only have one pimple at a time, and it would one would come in and then I would freak out and then it would go away. But I thought it was bad. I feel like when you wake up and there's something on your skin, you always think that it's worse than anyone else does. But yeah, so high school was not bad for me at all. And even in the beginning of college, like 19, 20 wasn't bad. When I turned 21, right after that, I studied abroad in Italy for the whole year. So my whole 21st year. And I came home and I turned 22 and my skin exploded. And I think there was a combination of factors, but I just think I had adult onset acne, which people don't talk about as much. It was just crazy. The worst my skin has ever been. Not just one or two pimples, like huge parts of my face were just taken up by bumps, and it was cystic acne. So not even like little whiteheads or anything, like deep underground issues. And I just think your hormones are changing so much, and I feel like I'm a late bloomer for everything, and so turning 22, definitely my hormones were just freaking out, I guess. That was the worst acne that I ever had to deal with. And with acne, like it's such a mental thing. It caused serious depression for me, and I know there's so many other things out there that are terrible and that are so much more serious and crazy than acne, but when it's on your face, and you have to go out there, especially being a little bit older, I feel like in high school, you're already so insecure about everything, and it's just that time like you're growing up, but when you're 22, 23, you're like, I feel like I was about to graduate, so I was graduating college, going for like job interviews, and I had this crazy acne on my face. It just like rocks your self-esteem. It was so hard. Like I didn't want to go anywhere. It created a lot more things in my life. It was just pretty dramatic how it changed my mood and my confidence, because I've always been a pretty confident person. So just to have something like that just takes over your life is terrible. So to end my acne story, I wish I had some kind of a thing that was like, oh, this completely transformed my skin, but honestly, I think acne, the crazy thing about acne, like acne does not discriminate. Even like diet stuff, like I do think some diet stuff, which I'll talk about later, is really important, like to not eat dairy and that kind of stuff, but I think sometimes you cannot help it. Like you can wash your face, you can do everything right, and sometimes you're just gonna suffer with acne. But yeah, my biggest thing is I did get on birth control that helped me regulate my hormones because something crazy was going on. It didn't matter what topical I used, anything. I changed my diet. It was something internal. My skin would not calm down. So after going on birth control, and the one that I'm on is orthotricycline, and I think 1 or 2 birth controls are actually FDA approved for acne. So I went into the doctor and I was like, I want this one because of acne. So they gave me that one, and within a couple months, my skin calmed down. And now I feel like I'm back to the high school, like 1 or 2 pimples, and that's all I have to worry about. So like I said before, one diet thing I do want to talk about, which I discovered this after my crazy acne scare, like when I was 23. Now I just turned 25, so I've been pretty like acne free for a year and a half for sure. But one thing that I discovered probably a year and a half ago that was making my face so much worse was eating eggs. So I am pretty much vegan. I cheat sometimes with cheese and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, so dairy wasn't an issue for me. So I don't consume a lot of dairy at all. So when people are like, stop eating dairy, I was like, I don't eat dairy. But one thing I did eat a lot of is eggs. So I love eggs. I still love them. It's still really sad for me, and I do cheat sometimes. But I was eating eggs definitely every day, whether it was in like a scramble in the morning or even like over easy on toast or something, even into nighttime, like having fried rice with eggs in it. Definitely so many eggs were consumed by me. I don't know what it was. I honestly think my mom sent me an email about like surprising things that cause acne, and one of them was eggs. And it's something in, like, it just clicked. And I couldn't believe that I didn't think about it before. I was always like, oh, dairy, like, because eggs aren't really considered dairy. They don't come from a cow, obviously. But yeah, my mind was just blown. And right then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I wanted to test it, obviously, because you have to test it and see if that even affects you. So I tested it, and I didn't have eggs for definitely a couple weeks. And my skin like transformed. Like I wasn't getting any like huge pimples anymore. Like hormonal acne like around my chin, like it was all gone. And I do suggest, like, if you feel like you have some kind of food allergy or food sensitivity, give it a couple weeks, because people always say like, oh, the day after I ate all that pizza, like I had so many like zits on my face. But actually, in reality, stuff doesn't come out in your face for 1 to 2 weeks after you eat it. So like if you had a really bad weekend last weekend and you ate a lot of greasy food, like next weekend, you're gonna see it on your face. Definitely give it time. So going into the tips, tip number 1, sorry, I'm looking down because I have like a little page of notes right here that I want to talk about. So tip number 1, wash your face. And I'm talking about at night particularly. I went through a phase where in the morning I would just do like a cotton ball with some like tea tree or something, but I think it's really important to wash your face at night. Wash your makeup off. I saw this thing, I swear it was on that show, Kathy Lee and Hoda. They had like a skin expert or like a beauty expert come on, and they had like a little quiz that they took, and she was like, answer this question: how many times does sleeping in your makeup and not washing your face affect your skin? Like how many times do you have to do that to see like the negative effects on your skin? And the answer was literally 1 time. Like 1 time not washing makeup off your face can make a crazy difference in terms of acne, just excess oil buildup, just so much stuff. So wash your face. And even when I have had too many cocktails, that's like one thing. Ask like my best friends, I'll come home from the club or something and I'll just be like, I just have to wash my face. And I swear, like that's just been my one rule that I don't break. So I wash my face and I try to get as much of the makeup off as possible, because think about makeup just sitting on your skin and on your pores, and when you sleep you shed so much dead skin, so much oil, and if you have makeup sitting on top, it's just getting all blocked and just seeping right down into your pores again. So that mental picture is really scary in my mind, and it just makes me be diligent about washing my face. Tip number 2, drink water. Seriously though, this one is super annoying because when I had really bad acne, people are like, you just need to drink more water. It's like, dude, I'm literally drowning my insides with water. It's not helping me. But now that I'm older and I don't have as much of just that hormonal acne, because like I said before, like that is, if you have that in you, it's gonna come out anyway. So don't feel like there's nothing I can do. Like time is your friend and it'll get better. But now I'm really seeing the effects of drinking water and how it plays a role in how my skin looks, which I still struggle with this because drinking water is really hard. especially like I don't like to drink a lot of liquids, like it makes me feel really full. So I have to really push myself. So I definitely, one of my tips to drink more water is a straw, because you're just getting way more water than like having to like drink it like that. So definitely have a straw, and then having like a container that you can either like has measurements on it, or that you can just be like, okay, I'm gonna drink 4 of this a day. Because I feel like drinking a water bottle here or like a glass there is just hard to keep track of how much water you're actually getting. But I do think if I have a really good day of drinking a ton of water, I swear I'll wake up the next day and I can like feel the moisture and like the bounce back in my skin. It is crazy. So drink water. Tip number 3, moisturize your face. So I have combination skin, so I get pretty oily in my T-zone, definitely my forehead, nose, chin, and then a little bit on my cheeks, but I can be really dry on the outside of my face. So I feel like especially when you have a ton of acne, the last thing you want to do is put like moisturizer and like you feel oil like on your skin. But it's so important to create that layer of moisture for your skin to soak up, because one thing, if you have really oily skin, your skin is trying to tell you something, like your skin needs hydration. So it's like creating excess oil to try to moisturize your face if you're not giving it enough moisture. So, which can come from water, but also you can moisturize. So I have my favorite moisturizer. Oh crap, where'd it go? Oh, I put it in this bag. So this is my favorite moisturizer right now, and you just have to find the one that works for you, because definitely use an oil-free one, but some can just irritate your skin. Like this one is called Ginseng Energy Boosting Gel Moisturizer by Origins. I really like Origins. I feel like they're really like natural products, but yeah, so this is the one I've been using, but I've used a lot of different ones before. I really like Glossier moisturizers. I just try to go with the brands that are cleaner and more natural. I feel like that just works for, I have really sensitive skin. So moisturizing, even my boyfriend, I know, like when I started dating him, I feel like some guys just don't know literally anything and don't know how to take care of their skin. And he just had like a lot of blackheads, and I was like, you just need to put on moisturizer. And literally within like days, I got him this little moisturizer sample, and he put it on just his nose, and in a couple days, like they were gone, because you're creating this barrier of moisture for your skin. And so all that dust and, did I say dust? I mean, I guess that like dirt and stuff is clogging your pores, where if you had that layer of moisture and something that protects you, it can't get in there, and your body just isn't developing all that excess oil. Tip number 4, and this one I feel like is probably the most important to me, to everyone: don't pick your face. I'm still doing this, or not doing this to this day. It's so hard when you have a pimple that you just know is just ready, and it hurts so bad, and it's like this weird like tick, like even like I'll be like, oh, and I'll feel one, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to like go to the mirror right now and get it, or I literally am gonna die. Like I'll try to watch TV and I just like can't stop thinking about it. Like it's crazy how mental it is, and I feel like a lot of my friends, like it's the same, like you have to go to the bathroom right now and get it. But just try to not do that. I feel like so many times I'll have like the tiniest little bump, and I'll just like pick at it or do something, and like the next day it's huge. And I've been really good a couple times where, just to experiment, where I have a pretty bad one and I just don't touch it, and I swear within 1 to 2 days it's completely gone. Where if you sit there and pick at it, you can just create a huge issue on your face. So yeah, just try not to touch your skin. I know it's really hard, but just don't touch it. So I'm gonna just talk about a couple products that I really like for skincare. So the first one is jojoba oil. This is just from Trader Joe's. You can get it probably at like any drugstore, but I just use this to take off my makeup, because I'll show you the cleanser I use isn't super powerful. So this just helps me make sure I get all of it off. Really like this. I don't like using wipes because I don't like to wipe my face, and it like tugs at your eyes, and I just don't. I feel like I'm wiping it in, the makeup like into my face. I don't like it. The next thing is the cleanser I use. So this is the 3rd one I've repurchased. It's the Glossier Milk Jelly Cleanser. I don't know if you can see that. conditioning face wash. So I've talked about Glossier before. I really like Glossier. I just love their branding, honestly, and being like a designer is just amazing. And I feel like that sells their products, but actually their products themselves are really good. Like they sell themselves. So I bought this just thinking like, oh, the packaging is so cute. I love it. I want to try it. And I wasn't sure about it at first because it's very gentle. Like it almost feels like it's not doing anything. And I feel like when you use a cleanser and it at like the end, it like feels like your face is sucked dry. I feel like sometimes you're like, oh, like that worked really well. Like that's an amazing cleanser. But this one doesn't do that. It's like moisturizing. It definitely gets your makeup off. But yeah, so at first I didn't know if I loved it, but after a couple weeks and a couple months now, it's so gentle, does the job, doesn't like create any issues on my face. I really like it. So I use this in the morning and at night. I already talked about this, the ginseng moisturizer. I use this after I wash my face, in the morning before I put on my makeup, and then at night before I go to bed, and I put like a lot on and I bring it all the way down to my neck. And I love it. The last thing is, and I use this on my body too, and this is like a holy grail for a lot of people, it's bio oil. So my best friend Maddie showed it to me, but I've done a ton of research, and like Khloe Kardashian, so many celebrities use this, and they use it for stretch marks, which I have been using. I don't have any boobs at all, so the only stretch marks I have are on like my hips and my butt area, and so I use this when I get out of the shower and moisturize it, and I have seen it's not gonna like take them away in a day, but I definitely have seen them faded, and it just helps moisturize and soothe that area. And then I also use it on just this area of my face where I have some like pitted scarring, and I really like it. My favorite thing about this though is the smell. It just smells, I don't know. It just smells like your mom or like your grandma, but in like the best way. That sounds so weird. It's just like really calming, and I actually really love it. Like I associate, because I put it on right before I go to bed, I associate the smell with like going to sleep. So it's just like so calming, and I love it. Bio oil. 10 out of 10. Okay, so that was it for my skin tips and skin secrets. Thanks so much for watching this video. Skin and beauty is really important to me, one of my passions. I love it, and I hope some of these tips can help you guys. Some of these tips can help you guys if you're struggling with any of the things that I struggled with. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye.